This week on One Crazy Story, comedian Bob Phillips joins us to talk about the time someone had a stroke while he was on stage and much more.
After they had left, they'd taken her up. There was a group of 5 women. Only 2 women left that club.
Oh, really?
The mother who apparently had a stroke, and the daughter. The other 3 ladies stayed.
Oh my God. She'll be fine.
Yeah. So we're all cleared out.
We gotta see the rest of Bob's set. Hello and welcome to another edition of One Crazy Story. I'm your host, Nate Armbruster, and this week I talked to comedian Bob Phillips. Bob is hilarious, a good friend of mine. We've been doing gigs together for a while. Also, he's a regular on the Anthony Cumia show. So if you know him from that, awesome. If you don't know him from that, check out that show because he's on it quite frequently. It's a great show. This week, Bob and I talk about comedy. Really, that's about it. We just pretty much talk about horror stories while performing. And Bob has too many stories. I don't know if I've met anyone with this many this many health emergencies mid-show, like a woman who had a stroke, another guy broke his head open. It's crazy. We get into it. Yeah, Bob mentioned before we recorded, he mentioned he had a couple of experiences like that I thought would be fun to record. So we did that. And then someone mentioned to me last week that it's called One Crazy Story. It should just be one story, but I don't know. I just thought it was fun. I thought we had a fun conversation, so I'm just going to leave all of them in there. We talk about multiple stories, so enjoy all of the stories Bob and I talk about, I guess. I thought it was a fun conversation. I think you'll enjoy it. So, yeah, get in touch with Bob. Go see him live. You can find his schedule on his Twitter page. Keep in touch with Bob there at Bob the Suit. It's Bob the Suit. And a lot of that's because Bob wears a suit pretty much all the time. He's always in a suit, always looking fresh, as they say. So get in touch with Bob. Get in touch with me, too. One Crazy Story on every platform, at One Crazy Story, all of that, or at Nate Comedy, whatever you want to do. Come see me live. Just listen to the podcast. That's cool, too. That's all you have to do, really. It's nice and easy. You don't have to leave the house for me to entertain you. That's the point. Also, subscribe to this. If you're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, any sort of podcast platform, you can find the show. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any episodes. And if you want to review it on whatever place you listen to it, that'd be fantastic because that helps the show a lot. iTunes, 5 stars, whatever, anything you like. Also, if you want to get in touch with me directly, my email is onecrazystory@gmail.com. Let me know if there's someone that should be on the show or if you want to be on the show or if you got a story that you don't want to say over the air or over the mic, whatever. Just email it to me. I'll read it. I'll do something with it. So let's do it. Thank you guys so much for listening and enjoy this week's episode with myself and comedian Bob Phillips. Because I've also had a similar experience actually with Roger.
Really?
I did a show with Mike Stanley at U of M. We were in this lecture hall. We're standing on the desk like this. Was
this a lunchtime deal?
No, it was like a.
I hated those.
It wasn't even. It was an incoming freshman class that was like touring the campus, and this was like an activity for them at night. It was like a Thursday or Friday night, and it was just on the campus in this lecture hall, and we're standing on the desk, like the where they do it, and it's like theater seating.
Great
it's a
venue
beautiful
for comedy,
venue.
Of course.
It's great. The seats are theater style. You feel kind of, except you're standing on a chemistry desk. And we're just like, this is the weirdest thing ever. And it's a bunch of
and in no other art form would they do that. They would never put a singer up on a desk.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, never. You'd never.
No singer's been like here. Just
comedy. Yeah, just stand on that fucking desk.
You're right. That's exactly what it was. And we're just like, well, we'll make this work, you know. And the MC goes up, does his thing. Everything. The show's going good. You know, it's a bunch of 18-year-old kids that are just on their way to college. You know, so they're all. I mean. Hit and miss, but they're a good crowd. Yeah. It was a fun show. Halfway through my set, something in the last row, all this commotion. And it was during one of the many silent portions of my act. Yeah. And so everybody just hears all this commotion and everybody's freaking out. Everybody turns around. 300 kids are just staring back. You know, when they just turn around, you're like, this can't be good. And I go, and the chaperones are freaking out and they have to get this girl out of there and all this stuff happens. and this girl, nobody knows what happened to their friend, and I'm like, this girl just had a seizure during my act, and I just.
Do you remember what joke it was?
Yeah, I can't remember the joke, but but I was like, man, and I'm like, so we're just supposed to keep doing the show. It was the most uncomfortable few seconds I've ever experienced.
Show must go on, baby.
Yeah, I know. It was
You're
great.
on a desk.
I can't remember what I said, but I remember like I just kept going, and we got it back, and I think I gave her a free CD after.
Oh, how nice of you. Oh, so she stayed.
The ambulance was still there, and she was okay. But it was the weirdest.
So they didn't cart her off.
No,
they administered help.
It was the weirdest thing, man.
And she got a CD. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, here. She's like, she's this.
Maybe this will help with your seizures.
I'm sorry you had a bad night. I hope you're feeling better. Listen to this. Like, what a shitty, but in reality, what a shitty thing to give somebody.
No, that was nice of you.
Like, I mean, it came from a place of love and like support. I'm like, please feel better. I feel bad you missed a portion of the show. Here, listen to this CD, and you'll feel much better.
Here's what you missed when you were stroking out.
Right,
in the back and flopping around.
Listen to this, so you know what you missed out on. This is what you get for.
But like, see, that's the beauty of comedy. People who don't do comedy don't understand that this stuff. I mean, this doesn't happen regularly. I mean, that's why you have this podcast, which is a great way for people to talk about this crazy stuff that happens.
Yeah.
But you're doing this on a desk.
Yeah.
And she's having a seizure in the back.
We're both having a weird night.
You're both having a weird. Yeah, yours weirder than hers.
Oh my God, man. It was the weirdest thing. And of course, everybody's just concerned about their friend. But the whole time I'm just like, so anyway, you guys text and drive? Or who? Whatever. I go into my, whatever the hell I go into whatever hell like shitty bit, and I'm just like, just your friend's fine. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, don't worry.
I know. I'm sure you want to sit through this.
Look at
bullshit.
me. I'm on a desk.
Yeah. And you guys have then the headliner. So like we still got an hour left. Everybody, your friend will be fine.
Well, while you've been talking about that, I've actually thought of two more unbelievable things that I just
dude, let's talk about them all.
In my head.
I love a good like awkward moment that you just because at the end, like in the moment, it's like Jesus, what is happening? But not when you look back, it's like that is absurd.
Well, before we started talking about this, I had a couple in mind, and then a couple more popped into my head, and I don't know much time we have.
Oh, dude, I have as much time as you want, as much time as you got.
That particular story you tell is similar to one that happened to me at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, and this was probably, I want to say, it was at the old one. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was 4 years ago, and I was just. Maybe 5 minutes into my set, I don't know, and it was around this time of year. It was a good holiday crowd, and the the guys that came before me really set the table, so it was everything was set up perfectly. Yeah. And then about 5 minutes in, there was this commotion about 3 rows back, and
and it's a small club, so this is you could reach out to these people, like they're right on top of you.
Yeah, they're and it's it's a kind of club you can't see very deeply into that. The old one, anyway. The new one you can see.
The lights are
in.
very bright, so you can't really see what's going on, but you can tell.
I just knew there was a kerfuffle. There was something going on there, and it was dire because somebody said, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah. So somebody said, "Call an ambulance," and I went, "Okay, look, we have to stop this."
Well, did you? Was your initial reaction something bad is happening, or was it?
Well, my initial reaction,
or like, am I going to try? Is this a shitty heckle that I've got to be a douche? So I would go into douchebag mode and just be like, call it. What is it that bad? Everybody, like, oh, go, and I just keep going.
What are you laying on the floor for, lady? Huh?
Yeah, is it that bad?
No,
you could just not laugh. That's all you got to do. You don't have to go call. Yeah,
right. You don't have to. You don't have to
call anybody. Don't call. And then you just look like an asshole. But like.
No, it's a good question, but you're right. I immediately switched into what the hell is this? Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with this. But it wasn't really long, maybe 10 seconds till I realized that there was a health emergency because there's a woman said, "Oh my God, call an ambulance!" And not many people heard it because she was talking just to her friend.
Oh, okay.
So I heard it though, and I told Roger, "Call 911," and then the crowd was like,
"Yeah."
there were a few people looking at me like, is this a setup? Is this part of the show?
Well, because it's like it's a weird position for you to be in because you still you're still the guy on stage.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's looking at you, and you're the guy with the microphone. So now you're emceeing this horrible health emergency.
Yeah, I was commentating on it.
Yeah, you're
That's
like,
exactly what I was
Roger,
doing.
like you just go to the back of the room, like, you know, you just yell into the microphone, call an ambulance, call 911, and this, you know, you don't even know what's happening yet. You just heard someone say,
no, I just said call 911,
mm-hmm.
and so I stood there and just said, okay, folks, we got a health emergency here. We're gonna get this taken care of.
Get her out of here.
Yeah, I got a 5-minute chunk on strokes I got to do. So she
there goes all my golf material.
Yeah,
Can't even,
right in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And so we're gonna get into the health emergency bits. So I remember saying, okay, you know, look, this is we got something important going on here. So after I told everybody what was going on, I went down into the crowd. I asked if I could, help them with anything. They said no.
Yeah.
Within like, 2 minutes, paramedics were coming down those stairs.
Wow.
And the crowd parted, and they got in there. So from the time that she had, exhibited some whatever problem she was having when she fell over, and I didn't actually see that until paramedics were there, was 5 minutes or less.
Dude.
I mean, they were right up the road. So
that's great.
They came in, and I didn't have to narrate the scene from the stage.
Right. Yeah, just put that anywhere.
Just put her anywhere.
Yeah, so, just put that anywhere.
I went down and again just said, okay, everybody kind of give us some air and whatever. And so it was kind of weird. I was the act, and I was, curating this disaster.
I'm not part of the staff.
Yeah, right. Well, people often think I'm part of the staff.
Part of you. Yeah, Bob wears a suit on stage. For everybody listening, Bob is always in a suit when he's on stage.
Yeah,
so he looks, like you look like the guy that should be seating people.
Right.
Like, where's the bathroom, sir?
That's a nicer suit than that guy.
No, you're right.
No.
How you know what I mean? But
I'm just kidding
you always look like a very professional person.
I have to.
But that's so
because my jokes suck. I have to.
But
I got to get respect that.
But
way.
So on stage you're wearing this suit, and so in the room you're the nicest dressed guy. I mean, even nobody in the crowd's ever dressed that nice.
No, and so.
But that's good though.
I'm frequently mistaken for the club owner or the club manager. The people are always coming up to me.
Even the paramedics are like, "Hey, what's the best way to get out of here?
Can you give us tickets for next week?"
Yeah, right.
No, here's the greatest thing about this though. After they had left, they had taken her off. There was a group of 5 women. Only 2 women left that club.
Oh, really?
The mother who apparently had a stroke, and the daughter. The other 3 ladies stayed.
Oh my God, she'll be fine.
Yeah. So we're all cleared out.
We got to see the rest of Bob's set.
Yeah, we got. It's so important that we stay for his dick joke. So they stayed, and
then they just totally regret it.
Yeah. So I came back on stage.
Yeah. How do you recover from that? Where were we?
I literally
said, we start over?
Something I said, and got a nice laugh. I mean, it's kind of a hack line, but what the hell are you going to do when someone strokes out? So then we launched right into the show, and it took me a couple minutes to realize that 3 of those bitches were still there.
Oh my God.
And I just had so much fun hitting them I'm like, are you kidding me?
Why haven't you? Yeah. Why aren't you at the hospital?
She's going to be okay.
Now?
This has happened before us. That's great. Thanks for bringing her here.
This has happened
before.
This
was going to happen.
We'll leave her.
Set.
Yeah. She stroked out. Oh, that's Tracy. Yeah. Oh, Tracy got stroking out in public again. God damn it, Tracy, ruining the show.
Exactly.
Was it something I said? You just hear this, all the drinks, like just everything just shatter. Just, all right, lady.
Yeah.
Really relax. So dramatic.
Yeah. So dramatic with your stroke.
Oh my God. Well,
that was one.
That's quite the experience though.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, and it was so, in fact, I wrote about it on Facebook the next day, and Neil Rubin, the columnist for the Detroit News, was intrigued by it. So he called me and then wrote an article about it.
Really?
And he called Roger and then getting the specifics.
Wow.
And once we found out that the lady was okay, and this had happened before, then it was like, okay, now we can make fun of it.
So wait, this isn't your first stroke?
Yeah, right. But I had, I think, even since this is one crazy story, I'm gonna have to tell.
I mean, any of these, all of these, we'll just talk about them all. You know, we'll just do Bob's.
This is two different stories at the same club.
Yeah.
Right? The club now is called Big Tommy's.
Big Tommy's,
and that's in Novi.
Little small club in Novi, Michigan.
I love it. It's a basement club.
It's a small room. It's beautiful. It's a good room.
At the time, and I have a story from last year at this time, Big Tommy's. But prior, this was got to be 6-7 years ago when it was called Wise Guys. Did you ever play that?
That was just before they closed. Just before I would have ever
same
even
thing.
gone over
I
there.
think they changed the sign or they changed the backdrop on the stage. Everything's the same.
Yeah.
But I was I'm trying to think. Was I middling or headlining that night? I was I can't remember.
Probably headlining.
Back I'm just
Bob, give yourself
now.
No, you're the headliner.
I'm a headliner.
Let's start over.
But I was trying to think of the time
you were
frame.
headlining then.
7 years ago, 6 years ago, I was headlining.
Yeah.
So let's say I was headlining. Let's just say that, kids.
You know what?
I was headlining a club in Novi, Michigan.
It's a podcast. It
Probably
can be whatever.
16 people. No, it was. As I recall, it was a pretty full house and it was a lot of fun. And but there was this group up front that was just raucous, and they were just drinking and drinking and drinking, and they were trying to help, as hecklers often do.
Just helping your show.
Yeah, well, there was a guy and his wife that were seated at the front table, just a couple of seats back, and the guy kept interjecting. The guy kept saying something. He wasn't truly heckling. He was just like, "Yeah, that reminds me of thing."
He's like nice,
yeah,
but he's
nice
just
guy.
interrupting.
Yeah, he's just interrupting. So I had a little fun with him, and then his wife kept like punching him in the shoulder, and this guy was fucking blitzed.
Yeah.
And then as the show wore on, I'm at like a half an hour, and I can see him. He's nodding. He's like, So this guy gets up. Yeah. This guy gets up, and he tries to spin, like on one leg, and go backward to where the restrooms were. Well, as he spun, this guy took a dive and smacked his head on the chair, an empty chair. In front of him.
Oh my God.
And cut his forehead so bad the blood was shooting out.
Oh my God.
Onto the chair, onto the floor. I mean, this is dark furniture and you can see it.
Oh my God.
And nobody is helping this guy.
Nobody. Not even
the wife. Nobody. So I put
did they see it? They had to have seen this.
Everybody saw it, and they're laughing at him. He's on the ground.
Oh my God!
I said, I can't believe this, but I put the mic in the stand. I'm like, I had to go to that. I'm like, are you okay? And he was only semi-coherent.
Yeah,
and blood.
He's wasted.
He was his face.
He can't even tell you. He can't even tell you he's bleeding
drunk,
out.
and now he's bashed his brains in.
Oh my God!
And so I said, look, somebody help me. There's a big dude. We're going to have to move him out of here. We got to call an ambulance. So I'm in my suit, and I'm in a white shirt, right?
Like, damn it.
And
ruin
I'm
a good
pulling
suit.
this guy, and the wife is doing nothing. This is how disgusted she is with this guy because he's probably 65. She's been putting up with this shit for 40
nightmare.
years.
She's like, I've been waiting for you to break your head.
She had that face like, fuck you. I'm glad this is happening.
Don't bleed on that gentleman's suit.
Oh, he bled on me.
Yeah.
He bled on me.
Oh,
I couldn't finish the show. My shirt was covered in it, and I had to pull him out and help set him down next to a wall and prop him up.
Wow, you took him up all those stairs? There's a huge flight of stairs.
No, we didn't do that. Yeah. It was the wall the hallway going toward the restrooms.
Okay.
We propped him up on a wall.
Man.
And people were still sitting there like, is there a show? I'm like, that I am the fucking show. It's over. I'm a paramedic. So,
dude, every show that something like this happened, like a health emergency,
yeah, I know.
You're the guy to the rescue
because I look official.
Because that's why I'm wearing a sweater, a hoodie, and a winter cap right now, and I look like like I saw when I walked in here, everybody looking at me like
this guy looks like he just left the dispensary.
I know. I look like I just rolled out of. I slept in this. I'm just like nobody asks you.
You
for
look
help.
good though, man. You're a young guy. You look good.
Nobody asks me for help. That's just, see, that's the you.
Well, I'm gonna. You
look like you know what to do. I
suppose, but if you are the guy with the mic on stage and no one else is, you think somebody would go, hey,
you think the manager? Well, I mean, Roger's a different story. That guy cares about his business.
Oh yeah,
but, like,
Roger jumped right on.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah, he's a smart guy. Knows what's up.
Yeah, wise guys.
Well, it's just like who's the man? I don't even know. Are you?
And I'm not shitting you now. I believe he lives in Macedonia. he escaped to Macedonia. Dude had so many people after him for money and tax problems, drug and alcohol issues, and so he literally left the country.
See, a place like that you just don't know who's the person to talk to about any sort of, especially like a situation like this. You're just like, well, I guess I'll do it. Yeah. And this guy's wife clearly isn't interested in helping. Yeah. And then the whole audience they weren't even amazed at what was going on. It was just like, we
was
gonna
only
finish?
Afterward when they came and took this guy and his
you
wife.
Were great. Well,
his wife didn't want to go. His wife didn't want to go with him. And they said, "Ma'am, you need to come with us."
Yeah.
So she had to so everybody's kind of standing around, and I thought, "Fuck you people!
Yeah,
I'm done.
right?
What do you think I'm going to go tell jokes now? I'm covered in this man's blood."
Yeah,
I mean that's insane.
Yeah, you don't even understand. Do you understand how absurd we should all just hang out now. With no show, but let's just hang out and process
and then
what just
get
happened.
Together every 5 years. And talk it out.
Yeah, we have a meeting every 5 years. I'm going to therapy now. It just. I'd be freaking out if somebody was like gushing blood like that.
Well,
because you don't know.
His head was split, like in the middle of his forehead, a gash about 3 inches long, because he went down and he got it all, man.
Yeah, Jesus.
And so you know how your head bleeds. So what got on me was I got my arms underneath him and was pulling him backward, and he was like had his back to the floor. Mm-hmm. So what was coming off his head was dripping on my shirt.
Oh no.
Yeah,
but I can just
times.
see. I love the image of you though. Like this guy falls, is visibly gushing blood. Like everybody's like, okay, no one's gonna help him. I got it. You take off your coat.
I didn't take off my coat.
But I could just, I like the idea of you just like, oh, looks like I'll take care of this. Take off the coat. You take off the shirt and the tie.
Yeah, I mean,
you're just in your wife beater, and you're like, let's.
it's completely insane. But at the moment,
yeah, well, no, you're saving a guy's life, or that's what you. Or at least move him so I can finish the show.
Yeah, he wasn't going to bleed to death. I didn't save anybody's life. It was just a moment of weirdness.
That is absurd, though.
I mean, I'm sure the bleeding would have stopped, but he was so drunk that it might have presented a problem later because his wife wanted to beat his ass.
Man, if the chair didn't make you bleed, I was gonna make you.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't see this, but she pushed the chair in front of him as he was falling.
She might have. She might have. If you could have seen the look on this woman's face, she hated his ass.
Oh my god!
And there were people at the table. Let him bleed. Yeah, that clearly were sympathetic to her. That had seen this before, because they got their arms for. They're like, "Oh my God, there goes Jim again, busting his head on the chair. Has to have the comedian rescue him again."
The best thing about both of these stories is that the group that the victim was with, either half or all didn't want to go to the hospital.
Exactly.
They would rather watch you. See, Bob, that's why you are fun. Like that's how you know you are. You're worth watching. That's how you know you're funny. Because if someone just witnessed the relative have a stroke and was like, "I want to see what this Bob guy does now," like you know what I mean?
Well, the thing that got me about that show at Wise Guys was that they expected that there was going to be more.
Yeah,
like I'm going to go on stage.
I can't follow that. Covered in blood.
Yeah, I'm. What am I supposed to do? Are you people insane? Get out of here! Leave me alone. This is so bizarre.
Right? You guys didn't even help.
Yeah,
you know. Maybe if you were interested in helping, if we had been through this together, I'd keep going.
If somebody had lifted a finger, but no, there actually was one guy that when he saw what I was doing, he helped, and then people kind of cleared the way, but it was too late for them to actually grab him. So
you definitely did it. You're the reason he was moved.
Well, what are you gonna do?
I love it, man. You're saving lives, and I haven't done. I none of the, like I said, the seizure story is the closest to anything, and I didn't even leave the stage. I just stood there. I literally
never left the desk, did you?
No, I never left. I was like,
well, why would you? It's
I was like, I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until they move her.
Well, she was in the back of the room.
She was definitely like she was up a flight. They're like they're like 15 rows up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna make it up there." And what am I gonna do? Stop you from seizing? Like I don't know.
No, there's nothing. I wouldn't have.
I'm a comedian. My only work experience so far in my life as an adult has been comedy. There's no. I am the least employable person there is. There's no. I am not helping you, and I would try, but I would screw something up. I'd be like, let me just get out of the way.
Well, then let's say you adhered to the first part of the Hippocratic Oath. First, do no harm. You didn't jump off the desk and start pounding on her, so you didn't make it worse. You got to give yourself credit.
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
You didn't sprint back there and start giving her poorly done CPR. And
I don't even know. This thing is like I remember taking classes. I maybe remember, but it's so foggy that I would be scared to try it because I'd be worried.
I took a class.
I would be worried that I would hurt the person
I would have the same
kill
problem.
them. You know, I don't want
to just break their sternum and find out they just had indigestion. I'm sorry, man.
She had a stroke. I got it. No, she just tripped. She's fine. She tripped.
She lost her balance for like what, 2 seconds? Cool down.
Call 911. That's the thing. That's the extent of my ability to help someone in an emergency is to call 911. You know, and that's all I can do is offer you my phone plan.
That's all right. That's all right. You have that. You've got that is your plan. You have a plan, and if you need it, adhere to it. That's good.
It seems like there's a theme here for your
medical emergencies.
Yes. It seems like, I mean, because you're kind of saving lives.
I'm the most dangerous comedian in the world.
Comedy saves lives.
Yeah, that's right.
Laughter is medicine.
It did. I'll tell you. Okay, this is this to me is just I love this story because I was doing this show. It's not a crazy story, so it's not going to fit your.
That's okay. No, it doesn't have to be.
So
it's fine. We're just.
But it's
because
just,
these are. I mean,
you'll
these are
appreciate this, and so that's all I need to know. Another comedian will get the horrificness of this and the awful awkwardness of it as it played out. So I got booked to do this. It was you got enough tape in that thing? Huh? You got tape? He's got a cassette recorder. You should see this thing.
I'm doing reel to reel. I'm the only podcast that uses reel to reel.
Yes, edits this on a Walkman.
We're gonna put it on wax later.
So I got booked to do this thing. It was a sorority reunion. Mm-hmm. So at the time I was single. I'm like, oh hell yeah!
All you hear is sorority.
Oh yeah, I'm in.
And you're thinking like,
how can this go wrong?
Yeah, like a nice young audience.
Exactly, and at least half women. And we, sororities. They always try to populate it with the good-looking ones. So. I said, yeah, I'll do it. And it was at the St. Clair Inn. And Russ Brown, one of my best friends, he did it with me. And and Mike O'Keefe was the MC. And I had even asked the organizers before the show. I said, hey, do you know what kind of act I do?
Yeah.
Do you know? Oh, yeah. Well, we talked to the agency. I said, no, okay, look, this is R-rated stuff. Are they going to be okay? Right. Oh, they'll be fine. I'm like, okay, so we get in there, and so this is not what you would think it would be as a sorority reunion.
Right, it's not like a 5-year reunion?
No, this is, so there was a woman there who was 75, and this is who the story's about. So let's see, when do you graduate college? When you're 22?
Yeah.
So this is
something
her
like that.
53rd time she's been at a reunion or whatever.
Oh my God, man! And she remembers she was in a sorority.
Apparently, she remembered where she was because she hated me and was very vocal about it. Because Mike gets up there and did his thing, and as I recall, they didn't really like anybody. They were they were bemused by what is this? Why are we doing this? Why don't we just have cake and pinafores and
right?
There
were
why don't
some
we do women there that were in their 30s and 40s, but most of them were 60.
That had to be.
70.
I feel like for the younger people too to attend like the show, they might be the only ones that are like, okay, we'll check out a comedy show. Like they might be into the idea.
The daughters of the women that were in the sorority were enjoying the show, but there weren't enough of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so it's everybody else is just like, why are we doing?
They're
this?
like, they're just kind of going, what's happening here? So Russ and I flipped a coin, and
who gets to leave?
Yeah. It turns out I got the better of it because I got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, you take that opening spot. I'll do it. I'll open. I don't need to go long here. I
don't need to do anything more than my 11 and a half minutes.
Right.
So I get up there, and there's no stage. It's awful.
It's a
podium. It's a podium with a mic. So it's just, and so I figured a way to take the mic out of it. It wasn't supposed to come out.
Yeah, you just broke it.
I didn't break it, but I remember just kind of jimmying it so I could get to get the bracket loose enough to where I could pull the cord out from around the side of it, and I could stand in front of this podium. It was so stupid. So all this stuff, like I said the other 2 times, it always happens 2 to 5 minutes in my head. People make up their mind about me very quickly. Yes. They just like, he's a dick.
You always have the first hurdle. That first, like 5 minutes in, you got some bullshit to deal with.
It's like everything in life. You know, the opportunities
you're like, this is going to be fun. I get to do a show tonight. This is going to be a great time.
There's dinner.
And then, and there,
the St. Clair Inn. It's,
right.
You know,
it's
what could be better?
It's going to be a nice night.
And it's in town. I don't have to.
You don't have to go travel or anything.
No.
Yeah.
So, and I get to do it with Russ. And I didn't know Mike at the time, but I got to know him. He's a funny guy.
And that'd be a fun show to see. I'd love to see. That's a great lineup.
That was a fun show.
So, I mean, it's a good show, but it's like the audience and the whole scenario was just a rough setting.
It was rough. Not in the. No one bled on me, but what happened was
no blood.
No,
this is finally a bloodless story.
They were all postmenopausal. There's no blood. What a disgusting thing to say so close to Christmas. So anyway, I sound like Donald Trump. She's bleeding from just like everywhere, her eyes and other places. So this woman, she's 75. Sure. She's in the front row. She's 75, and she's got her arms crossed, and across her there is a sash that says Woman of the Year, and she's wearing a fucking tiara.
What?
I'm not kidding you, because she was like the oldest one there. The oldest representative of the sorority, and she had been voted Woman of the Year.
Oh my God.
These other people. And she's got a sash and a tiara, and she's just looking at me like, I want you dead. I hate you. I just you know how you can just feel it, the malevolence that comes at you. When
no, you can just
really
tell, and especially an older woman like that. You know, you can tell when they're pissed.
Shit.
Yeah, they don't care. I might have 5 years left. Don't ruin my night.
That's exactly it.
You know what I mean? Like just that. I can just picture the face. I can just picture the face she made.
And any comedian hearing this knows exactly what we're talking about. So she literally stands up. I don't remember what joke it was in the middle of, but stands up and says loudly over the mic, I don't have to listen to this, and turns, and with her walker, I walked her. I walked the Woman of the Year. Okay, she started walking. Now, it's bad enough to walk somebody for any reason. To see somebody who hates you so much that they get up and just leave.
Yeah, I've walked whole tables before. Like and they're but they're usually up and out. They're gone. You know?
And they walked because it's a fucking bachelorette party and they don't know what they're drunk.
Yeah, they just want them to leave.
Right?
And I'm like, yeah, please don't stay any longer.
Yeah, and they're gone within 30 seconds. No, it takes a long time for a 75-year-old woman to walk her to get the fuck out of the place. So she's walking and looking back over her shoulder at me. And
oh my God.
The uncomfortableness of it. I hear Russ to the side of the stage laughing his ass off. He's slapping his knees.
Yeah,
I can see the tears come down his cheeks. And I just turned. I said, "It's your turn in the barrel next, asshole." So it took this woman, no kidding, probably 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's a long time, especially if it's silent. Did you say anything?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had to make fun of it.
Were you just like,
and nothing was working. It was just,
and everybody's just like, you're a dick. Well, you got to run with it at this point, or walk with it. In this case,
walk with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I love that nobody did. Anybody get up and leave with her?
Yeah, a couple of people tried to help her along because they saw how bad it was, and they wanted to get her out of there too. So she finally,
they were looking for an excuse to leave.
I just waited till she got to the back of the room, and then I went into my act again. I said, "Look, this is," and Russ Brown will attest to this. I said, I don't think this is working for either of us here. None of you and me. So I'm just going to tell my jokes. Yeah, and I really don't care what happens.
I'm just going to do my time and get that check at this point.
And I did my time. Yeah. But I'll be damned. About 10 minutes in, and I only was doing a half an hour. The last 15 minutes of that set was some of the. It was one of the most fun, segments of a set I've ever done. Because they finally got with the fact that this was an awful setting, and I plowed through it, and they respected me for it. So they started laughing, clapping, And when the show was over, and then Russ came up and just killed, just destroyed.
Yeah, it's hard to recover when you walk Woman of the Year.
Oh yeah.
And 3 minutes in, the Woman of the Year,
exactly.
also the oldest woman there, the oldest probably member,
the most revered
living member, or whatever. You know, everybody loves her, and it's just like this.
And they all had to appear to take her side,
right? Absolutely.
But what happened? What in fact happened in the lobby after the show? I sold 9 CDs that night. That's some of them. I mean, I've sold 12 at one time, but 9, that's a lot of CDs.
For this show?
For any show. For me.
This, but I mean, for this one, though, in particular.
There was, and I said, I don't get it. What you people, you hated me after they said, no, we liked it. It was the younger people buying them. Yeah. They said even my mother loved it, but she couldn't laugh because, you know.
Yeah, she's friends with Mabel over there.
Whatever her name is.
Her and Mabel were in the same year.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And she lost out to Mabel. She fucking hates her. And now you're coming up, and Mabel's.
Oh my God!
It's just a
nightmare, man. Just a hell.
And those are the ones you remember, the complete nightmares.
Yeah, but that's.
What are you gonna do? You got to get through it.
Yeah, that's all you can do is just keep going. At least you didn't get bled on.
Yeah, I didn't get bled on. I did not get bled on.
Yeah, you didn't have to help somebody leave. They left on their own.
Yeah, well, sort of.
Yeah, you're like, man, I wish this woman would have a stroke.
I would have loved
and then
that.
It's not your fault she was having a bed.
They'd have blamed me.
Yeah.
At least until the last 15 minutes when they turned and said, this guy's pretty funny.
Yeah, if we actually just listen and have a good time. That's
The liquor was flowing and the Woman of the Year was gone. And I think they finally let their hair down.
Oh, my God.
But I do have one more story. I don't know if you have time for it.
I have so much time.
This is this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is at Big Tommy's.
Mm-hmm. The place where you got bled on.
The same club. Now it's called
You
Big
should
Tommy's.
stop going back to
this
this
I know.
place.
I should have.
Yeah,
but I'm a glutton for punishment. So I go back there, and now my wife, who I'd only been married to for a couple months at the time, was going to meet me at the club because she was Christmas shopping. She said, I'll meet you there at 7:30 before the show. Now, it's a benefit, right?
Yeah.
I get to this benefit, and I'm shocked to find that the benefit is for this soccer club that all 3 of my stepdaughters play for. My wife doesn't know this.
No.
I didn't know this.
No.
The whole it's 120 people, and it's this organization that they all play for.
So it's like the City League Association or whatever, and
it's each kid is $6,000 a year, and
it's
big money.
When you go into the show, do you recognize this immediately?
I see the sign, and I went, "Wow, wish somebody would have told me this."
Because sometimes you just take a gig and you show up, and there just happens to be a benefit show,
yeah, sure.
and usually
and you ask what it is, and you acknowledge it.
Yeah, but sometimes you just don't know until you get there, and this happened to be your stepdaughter's soccer league,
all their soccer league, and this organization. It's a good sized organization.
Right.
They had 120 people there.
Yeah, it's a big show.
They run it all.
Yeah, and these are all people you basically know or have worked with or met.
I did not know them, but I knew a couple of the faces. I remember them as coaches for my stepdaughters.
Oh yeah, and your wife probably, does she know any of these people?
Yeah, she knew most of them, but she's been dealing with them for 7-8 years.
She was just on the way to the show.
She comes to the show and she goes, "Oh my God, don't do your soccer jokes."
Oh my God,
I have to do my soccer. I said, "No, please don't do your soccer jokes."
You're about to ruin your stepdaughter's lives.
Yeah. I hate soccer, so I do 5 minutes on why I hate soccer. But so she goes, I said, "Trust me, they'll be okay with it. They don't mind being poked in the eye if you poke yourself in the eye afterwards."
You just get a yellow card. But.
Yeah, that's right. And if you do it again, you get a red card, and then you're forced to leave. And they drag you out in a bloody mess. So having a great set,
right?
And I'm headlining.
Yeah, and do they know that you're your stepdaughter's family?
Excuse me. I made the announcement as I took the stage. I said, "By the way, I just got indoctrinated into this cult that you call soccer." And I was telling them all why I hated it.
Yeah.
Because all I do is drive now.
Right.
And, I had a swinging bachelor lifestyle. Now I'm just a chauffeur.
You got a minivan and shit.
Yeah. So they got all that because everybody.
That's great.
They just drive.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So I was having a wonderful time, and this is about a half an hour in. Okay, about half an hour in. There is a couple seated a couple seats back, a little bit stage right, and the guy is being helpful again, but he's not drunk. He's just talking,
just responding.
And he's pointing out a guy and go, "That's like Dave did," or whatever. So, and his wife was kind of like elbowing him, going, "Don't do that, don't do that."
Yeah.
And so then a couple minutes later, I started talking to him. I said, hey, I do some bits about gambling. I said, you raised your hand. You clapped when I said, who's a blackjack player? You like it? She said, oh, yeah, I like to play it. Now, she's behind him doing this, like the throat cutting gesture. Don't talk about it.
This,
I'm like, oh, no. Now we have to talk about it. So I'm talking. I said, okay, tell me about your game. You like to gamble and drink? Oh, yeah, I like to do that. And she's like, no, don't do that. Don't. So she's now visibly upset with me, not just in a joking way. Like, she's mad.
Yeah, like you can't walk to your car alone mad.
Yeah. So to the table that's against the wall, very stage right, I see people looking over at a woman that's in back of this couple that I'm having this repartee with, And there's a younger woman. These people were about 50, and this guy was probably 30, 32, something like that. Everybody's younger than me. And she's kind of shrinking, she doesn't want to be seen. And I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? I said, hey, you back there, what's your name?
Oh, no.
She's like going like this, waving me.
Yeah,
please,
don't.
I said, no,
Yeah.
what's your name? And somebody else yells her name. It was like Lisa or something. I said, Lisa, what are you so nervous about? Well, the woman whose husband was helping me earlier, whom she didn't want me to talk to about the gambling, she turns around and death stares this other woman.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm going to kill you right here and right now. I'm like, wow, I need to find out about this.
Yeah, now you're just like, you can't, you have to talk about it at this point.
So
is the crowd aware?
Now the whole place is
just
popping, man. It's popping.
Every place, because everybody knows everybody.
Oh, yeah, they all know everybody.
To some degree.
So the table that tipped me off to all this, I look at them, and there's 5 or 6 of them going, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Well, the woman with the husband who was pissed at me gets up and, like, rushes out. And is going to the restroom. The younger woman, who was, she was given the daggers to, goes to the bathroom. And all of a sudden, stage right, about 6 women all stand up and start just hurtling toward the restroom. So what the hell is going on here? And I can see my wife in the background. She's like, oh, my God.
Oh,
so
shit.
There's this commotion, and then I hear them all going off down the hallway. And then banging and crashing. And stuff going on.
Oh, my God. And clearly there's a fight
There was a fight
on
that went on in there. I didn't know what happened. This went on for about 5 minutes. The owner, Billy Stoyanovich.
Yeah. He's
looking at me like this. Because I told him, my wife knows these people. He asked my wife, go in there and figure out what's going on.
Right. Yeah. Well, I can't. That's the thing is like, can you go into a women's room to break up a fight, especially if you know?
I don't know. But
like, I don't know.
I've had enough for that, Superman shit.
I'm not getting any blood on me this time.
So I went back to my show. They sort of came back in clusters, 2, 3, another 3. Everybody sat down, and there was this weird energy, and the wife is just with her arms folded, and half of her face is red, and she's crying, and I've got 15 minutes to go.
This is a long 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, if I did what I had to do,
right.
And
did you mention? Hey,
no. It was too.
You ever notice how women go to the bathroom together?
They beat the shit out of each other.
What are they doing there?
Well, here's what finally I can tell you what happened. I didn't know until after the show was over. Right. I leave the stage. I go back, immediately to my wife. I said, "What the hell happened?" And people are coming by, going, "Oh, dude, didn't you know?" I'm like, "No, what?"
Yeah.
And this guy pulls me aside. He goes, "Dude, that guy that you were talking to, he's having an affair with that woman behind him, and the wife knew about it, and you just let everyone in that place know about it."
Oh,
I'm like,
no,
I did not. They didn't know. They said, well, maybe a couple people know. But
well,
they
clearly
all know
enough
now.
Knew.
Yeah. Well, they all know now.
That is nuts, man.
It was nuts, and people were.
I mean, how could you know?
I didn't.
You're talking about like gambling or whatever. You're just doing some jokes.
You
play blackjack, and she's like, "Shut up, don't talk to him." And you're
shut
like,
up,
"What?
don't talk
Why?
to him."
What does that have to
she's
do
probably
with?
pissed off
What does that
because
have to do with
the tuition money at the?
What does that have to
casino.
do with an affair? It's not my fault. I'm sorry. Why are you guys making it weird? Yeah, most people just have an affair. Don't mention it.
Is it the gambling, or is it because I'm banging the broad behind me? I don't. What are you so upset about, woman?
That guy probably wanted to fall and break his head open.
Here's the Oh, he did.
Oh my God!
It got even more awful. I only stayed there for about another 5 minutes. I had a couple of the coaches come up and go, "Man, that was so funny." I like, really, you guys
like,
are sadists. They're
we're
like,
gonna have you here every year.
Not my fault.
Yeah, we're gonna have you at this event every year.
So I leave and I'm walking up the stairs with my wife. You know the stairs there.
Yeah.
And then I take a right out onto the sidewalk, and I see the woman there with her husband, and she is streaming tears, and he's just standing there stone-faced.
Yeah.
I walk by both of them, and all I could think of...
You couldn't wait.
I gave him a CD. That's why I was laughing so hard when you told me about giving that.
You gave him a CD?
I said, listen, I'm really sorry. Like, we don't want any remembrance of this.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god, these people are having a huge. These people are having
seizure victims.
These people are having a huge crossroads in their relationship, and you're not. It's not your fault, but you kind of outed it, and you and you're like the reason
and
they had
something to remember this miserable night by.
You want to? Here's what my show sounds like to laughter. I'm out of here,
when
kids.
bitches out punching each other in the bathroom.
Oh my god, that is crazy! Whoa, my
so
god!
You wanted one crazy story. I gave you 4,
dude,
Mr. Armbruster.
You gave me.
I think I gave you 3.
You gave me so many. I don't care. That's great, man. I could talk about
all
this
true
stuff. All these are
true.
great.
Not embellished.
I didn't realize you had so many unique. I mean, everybody's got like weird stories.
Well, you and I have one. That funny thing that happened at that that addict recovery place
we did. Like it was.
Nate
like,
goes up and asks. This is okay.
It's another one where we booked this gig, right? And it's a benefit, but it was on Valentine's Day.
Yes, and we didn't know what it was for.
And we didn't know the group. We assumed it was just like a Valentine's Day show, like people go out or whatever, date night
and it was
sort
a club.
of thing.
They had like an Elks club type of thing.
Yeah. 200 people. It was like a great show, but I got there a little before you, and usually I'll go like before the show, I'll go have a drink, and I go up to the bar, and it's an Elks Club, so it's like some guy just bartend, not a real bartender, the guy that's there that night.
It's Dave.
Yeah,
he puts on a bow tie,
right? Yeah,
and
knows how to take caps off bottles.
He needs new snow tires.
So I'm like, I'm leaning on the bar or whatever, and just like waiting for you. I don't know who to look for or whatever, and I'm just sitting there waiting. And I go, I'll just have a drink while I wait. So I go to the bartender, and he's looking at me. He goes, "Can I get you anything like a soda or water?" And I go, "Do you guys have like a Miller Lite?" And he's like, "No." And he was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like he was like offended that I would ask.
I know.
And then and I was like, "That's weird, right?" And then you show up to the gig with a bottle of whiskey. And I'm like, "Bob, you brought your own booze?" And you're like, "Yeah, we're doing a benefit for these are all like addicts like that are recovering like heroin, all sort, like from the worst the worst drug ever to just alcohol."
Yeah.
And it's just all people who are in recovery.
Yeah. And you're asking for a drink.
And I'm over at the bar like, and they're just like, and they're like, "No, what the hell?" And like, they were like, obviously they're all like, "Are you kidding me, asshole?" Because they're all like,
yeah.
I'm like, "I didn't know."
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so funny. So I think we split that bottle that you brought.
Yeah. What did we do with that? It was like,
I don't know. It was a fun show. It was great. I think I had mentioned that I didn't realize we were.
Yeah, you did. Well, because I think I went and made the same mistake.
Oh my god,
I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was
funny.
awkward because people were reminding us. Ever afterward, "Hey, I heard you guys asked for a drink."
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were the comedian.
Yeah.
Oh god. That's so fun. Yeah, that was funny, man. I always put my foot in my mouth.
That was a fun time. That was a good show.
Yeah.
We've had a few good shows.
That was fun. No, thank God, no blood yet. You leave that shit away from me.
I don't want any more blood.
I don't want to be calling any 911. I don't need to be calling 911 for anything during a show. I'll leave that to you.
Avoid. Just tell the jokes.
That's right. I'll just stick to what I'm doing right now. So thank you for doing the podcast, Bob. I appreciate you making time to do this.
Thanks for letting me into the studio. By the way, you should see the studio. It's like a bat cave. It's this
it really is.
You should see the thing that Nate's built here.
It's beautiful.
It's it's entirely black. The roof is stalagmites. Or I
forgot which ones
fall
were
down. Stalagmites are hanging down.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's an actual there's a bat signal shining on one portion of the ceiling in here, and there's a full bar.
I try to make it look nice.
Yeah, and it's got a nice jacuzzi. I don't know if you can hear it bubbling in the corner. And you should.
Yeah, it's a nice layer. It's a nice place I got. Is there anything? What do you got coming up? Anything good going on in Bob's life? You got a website where people can find you at online? Go ahead and plug away.
BobPhillipsComedy.com. BobPhillipsComedy.com. That's Phillips with 2 L's. You can follow me on Twitter at Bob the Suit.
Bob the Suit.
That's me.
With no blood.
Yeah, no blood.
Yes.
Yeah. There's
Bob the Clean Suit. Did you keep
Oh yeah,
shirt?
I saved it.
Is it framed?
No, it's just in my closet. It's just a souvenir.
Could you send me a picture of it?
Yes, I
Oh
will.
my God,
I'll
that
send
is
you.
so funny.
Absolutely, I'll take a picture.
I'm glad
tonight.
you kept that shit.
Oh yeah, I had to. There was no way. I mean, what am I going to do with it? I don't want to throw it out because I want to remember it. And
Right.
There's no way I'm going to clean it. And if I did, somebody would call the cops.
Take this to the dry cleaner. Hey,
Yeah.
Can you get that out of there? Can you get this out of here?
Yeah.
The stain?
I got a lot of blood to get out of here.
Oh my God.
No, I got to go to New York tomorrow. I don't have to go to New York. I'm looking forward to it. Going to be on the Artie Lang and Anthony Cumia show.
You're a regular on there, right? You've
Yeah.
been once every few weeks or
Yeah,
months
once
or
every 3 months.
whenever, yeah.
4
So
times a
regularly.
year.
Cool. Well, yeah, look
Yeah.
out for that. You can find out, I'm sure you can find out on Twitter when you'll be on.
Yeah,
So
they'll be
for those that
announcing.
wanna tune
They
in.
do it tonight, and then I'll be tweeting it out there. And
That's
if
awesome,
anybody-
man.
It's compoundmedia.com. It's
Yeah.
a really funny show.
It's a great show, regardless. So check that out, and also check out Bob on that show too, and Dave
Thank
Landau,
you.
who's been on the podcast.
Yeah,
a
Dave
few
is
times.
hysterical on
Yeah.
that.
So I'm glad.
Dave is Dave has become like one of their top guys.
Yeah, they're great. The whole show is great, and Dave's great. You're great, especially on that show. So make sure you check it out.
Yeah,
Sure.
thanks a lot.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob.
Yes, sir. Happy holidays, Nathan.
You too.